Today we have a S650 Mustang 5.0 in the shop. We're gonna be installing some caliper overlays. These are the factory calipers that came with this vehicle. And here we have this kit from Qspek Vinyl. These are caliper overlays in reflective red. I'm gonna start off with the front calipers. This is the front caliper kit. Separate from this are the caliper faces, and you can tell which one belongs where because of the design. So these are the passenger side, these are the driver side. The kit comes with installation order, so you see which ones need to go first. They're set up this way to make sure that the overlaps are in the right place, makes the edge of the film less visible. We're gonna get started with the front driver caliper. Number one. On the lower part. Number two, I'm gonna start off down at the bottom. The way you line this one up is you make sure that this sits right in between these two. You gotta raise that up a little bit. And then you go ahead and push this bottom section down. Then you work your way to the top. Now, the way you line this area up here, same thing up here. We're gonna leave this area here for a bit. And we're gonna focus on this top area first. Now, before finishing number two, we actually want to grab number three and we want to put this on first, okay? Because we want this to overlap number two on this surface here, but we want number two to overlap this surface on this edge here, you'll see. For this corner here, what you want to do is you want to grab a corner tool. These are available at Qspek.com. So you want to make sure you release the film from sticking on this end while you push down into this deep area there. So that way it doesn't bubble up on you. Okay. Once you get it there, you can grab your felt card, also available at Qspek. Finish pushing that up. Stretch right here. We're gonna line this up in this corner right here. And we're gonna have about that much of a gap. Okay. And then we want to do a little stretch upward so that way the film hugs the caliper. Okay. Now we want to apply some heat. 2 on the lower part. Again, we want to line this edge up right here. Again, we're gonna leave this right here just for a bit and focus on this section first. As brake line makes things a little bit tricky, we're gonna use a little bit of heat right now, but before we put heat on there, we wanna make sure that this area here is first laid out so that way it doesn't shrink. Just like that. Okay, so this area needs to be first put down. Alright. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab the heat. And we want to protect this upper piece here. We want to protect that from getting any of this heat. Slowly work our way towards the edge of that. And now we're going to do number 3 on this lower part. That's it right there. There you go. See that right there? It's really hard to see in the camera, but the film needs to sit like right on the edge right there. Otherwise it's gonna end up lifting in the future. I'm gonna finish it off with the film card. And we're gonna have heat. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and finish number 2 on this lower part. A little bit of stretch there. Too much stretch. Add some heat and let it shrink a little bit. And there you go. Just like that. Finish it off with some heat. On this, we want to go ahead and do a stretch to follow the turn, to follow this turn, this radius here. If you look at the actual kit, they are going on the opposite radius, and it's done on purpose because this surface here needs to stretch. If it doesn't stretch, it's not going to hug. This back part is not going to hug the surface very well. Heat, we shrink it, and so this is what I mean back here. We're able to have the film hug that surface there. A little closer to show you guys what I mean. We're gonna line this up here, same as this surface there. You see that there? So we're gonna go ahead and, as we stretch it, we want to line this up. This side of the film to get stretched. I'm going to go ahead and push that down. Again, add some heat. last piece. For this, the entire outside surface is gonna overlap about, I'd say about a 1/16 of an inch. So that's how we line it up. Now that's on the outside parts. This inside part, it's gonna be like right on the money. So that's how we line this up, same thing. So I'm gonna line this up right on the money. Cool. And then what we wanna do is just kind of let this sit there so that way we can confirm that it's gonna cover these other pieces that we laid out. And it is, so we're gonna go ahead and squeegee the surface out. Okay, and then we're just gonna wrap all these edges over with some heat. Moving on to the rear calipers. Number one. For number one, we want to make the bottom of this piece kind of make a little bit of that turn out. Okay, that's how you know it's in the right place. Make sure you get felt card squeegee and push those corners out really nice. Now we're gonna go to number one in the bottom part. Same thing, wanna make sure we line this up so that way this edge kind of wants to start that turn. A felt card. And this stops a little shorter than the top part because of the brake line there. Okay. Number two, you wanna start off this corner right here. Line it up to that corner right there. Okay. Go around the valve. You don't want to go straight to pushing everything down. Just line up the corner there. Just lay it down just to see if it's in the right spot. It is. Okay. Tell it's in the right spot because this lines up right here. Okay. Grab the felt card. Push that in just like that. Go ahead and push this just a little bit forward. There's a little bump here right before this turn. There's a little bump up to there. Okay, then before doing anything else, what we want to do is we want to seal this edge. Okay, we want to seal this edge like right before the turn. Okay, just like that. We want to seal the top as well, and we're just going to leave this floating right there. Get nice and warm. And then we're going to slowly, with your thumb, push that down. Alright, good. And we're going to go to number two. There's not a lot of room to be able to install this, but same process. So we're gonna go ahead and just slide this over in here for now. I'm not gonna stick it yet, but we just want to get it started there. Okay, and then we're gonna first start in this corner, same way we did the top, just like that right there. Okay, so I'm pulling on this area here so that way I could release it from from holding on. That way I can manipulate the film and align it where I want to align it. Okay, go to the corner, make sure you get that deep part in. That way it doesn't lift up or bubble on you guys. We're gonna line this edge first. All right, let the film sit in there nice and comfortably. Okay, and then we're gonna go to lining this edge up. The same thing we did on this side. We're gonna go ahead and add heat now. Okay, we can't use our finger this time because it doesn't fit with the brake line there. So we're gonna just use the felt card and we're gonna slowly work our way towards the center. I'm gonna go ahead and release some of this because this is wrapped a little more than necessary, and I don't want to overstretch this film. Release this here. I'm gonna add a little bit of heat to get the film to return to its normal state, and I'm gonna go ahead and manipulate this film so that way it's right on that edge. Some heat now. You should see the film get comfortable there. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and go back to what I was doing with slowly pushing my way towards the center. It just releases some of the tension on the film there. I'm gonna add some heat, and with a corner tool, I'm gonna slowly push this film down. And we clean this surface on the caliper, the entire surface, really well before doing this. That's the first step, and it's something that I didn't mention in this video because we mention it in all videos. But you need to clean the surface really well with 91% isopropyl alcohol. That's what's gonna remove any contamination on the caliper that will stop the film from adhering properly. I'm gonna go to number 3, these pieces here. Pretty straightforward. Okay, number 4. Now we want to focus on lining this piece up to right here. About right there. It's about a 1/16 of an inch. Okay. Then everything else should start to fall in place. Remember, you want to get the deep areas to make sure that the film won't bubble up in the future. Just like that. Bottom area of number 4. This is a wrap material, so you can always lift it up if you don't like where it sits. And essentially you want to have the same overlap on both sides. That's why I lifted it up and adjusted it. Now I raise it up like this, so that way when I push this deep film. Just trying to let the film sit where it's most comfortable. Wrap over the edges with some heat. And number 6 is this piece here. You want to line this up right there. Work your way around it. Number 6 in this lower part, same thing. Line it up right there. To be able to push the film down. Just slowly work around the surface here. 7. You want to be careful with this when you pull this one off because it's got a lot of thin areas that can get either stretched out or rip. So we're going to start off with this top corner here. I want to add a little bit of a stretch to the film there. That way these edges wrap over. This, we want to see the amount of gap that we have here is the same amount of gap that we want to have all over, so let's focus on that. This deep part of the corner in first, and then we can go ahead and push the rest out. Just like that. Okay. Then we're going to go to this corner here. Good. When you first get this kit, it's gonna look like it's off because there's an angle here versus here. But the reason why we do that is because we want to manipulate the film. See how the film wants to flap up here? So that's done on purpose on the design, so that way when we line this up here, you don't have excess film here. The film is ready to get laid down to the deeper part of the caliper. I'm gonna go ahead and continue here first. Okay. And continue here first before I move forward. And then we'll push everything out after. There. Do a little bit of a stretch there. Same thing on this surface here. We wanna have a very similar amount of gap all the way around. Okay, so all this right here is floating. We want to make sure that it doesn't stick too soon. So we're lifting it up that way, so that way I can slowly work my way there. See how the film is getting pulled on there. If I don't make sure it's not sticking, the film is going to overstretch. And just slowly work our way around. Over the edges, and then we're gonna go to this corner right here. Finish this up with a little bit of a stretch. Then we're gonna add heat and wrap over the edges. Number 8. I'm going to do a stretch while we lay it out. That way this back section is able to hug the surface. Other number 8. this surface all around overlaps about 1/16 of an inch. So that's how you know where you're putting in the right place. So we're not gonna seal everything right away. We're just gonna lay it out just to kind of see if it's in the right position. And if it isn't, we're gonna go ahead and reposition it. And that should be it right there. And we're gonna go ahead and squeeze everything out. Okay. And we're gonna wrap all the edges around. Okay, don't forget to pair up your caliper overlay purchase with the e-brake purchase. We want it all to match. So going ahead and cleaning this caliper really well. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with these pieces here, as this overlaps those pieces there. So this has a little bit of a lift here on the design. That's where this lines up. So you start off right there. Okay. We're gonna grab a felt card. We're gonna slowly push the film into the deep part of the caliper there. And push out. And everything should just line up just like that. I'm gonna change the angle so that way you guys could see different angle. Again, we're gonna line this up right there. Grab the felt card. Slowly push that down. So as you see me push, you see me releasing this part. It's to make sure that there's no tension on the film as we go towards the center, the deeper part. Same technique that we've been doing on the other parts of the main caliper overlays. So it just helps make sure that the film isn't being stretched on, that it's sitting comfortably. Which is why you'll see me like peel back before I push down on the film. That's that right there. All right, for the main one, we're gonna start off with lining up with the pins. So I'm gonna apply pressure in this top corner there. Same thing, line up there, apply pressure there so that it sticks. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab a felt card and push this center piece. Push the center part, all the air out, so that way we can start sealing it there. We don't want to go too far. See how I'm stopping early? So we don't want to go beyond this ridge that's there. Same, there's one in the bottom. Okay, oops. So now for this part, I like to grab my pinky. Then push everything out. Okay. All right, now for this other part, I want to go straight to lining up this top part first. Just like that. Okay. We're not sticking anything else on, okay? Now we want to go ahead and push down on this ridge. And slowly work our way around. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of a stretch here. Just lightly pick up the film there. It's really difficult to see what I'm doing there, but I'm making sure that the film has a bit of a stretch so that it hugs the surface. So again, see how I stretch the film just like that? That way the film hugs the